Here you've got the Linia plasma cutting table. It's a 1.5 by 3 meter format, and it's a downdraft machine. So I'm going to take you through a few of the features on this, and we're going to start with the control panel. So here you've got the micro step controller. This is a height controller. So this is just going to set up your torch to the correct distance above the plate that you're cutting automatically. Now, here you've got the Starfire 10-inch controller. Nice feature on this is you've got an inbuilt library. So what this means is you've got two ways of programming. One is in the office with the offline software, and the other is directly on the machine. So if you've got a base plate or a simple shape like you see in the library, and you want to just walk up to the machine and do it quickly because it's only one off, you don't want to be going into the office and doing it. So you come into the shape library, you choose the shape you want to do, you input dimensions, and you cut. So if you want to do it quickly because you've got to weld something together, ideal, because it's very, very quick and easy to be able to do this. Now here you've also got the offline software, which is a fast cam system. This is auto nesting. So when you are doing the programming in the office, if you've got a full sheet that you've got different shapes to put on it, you use this, you can nest all of the shapes, and it'll do it automatically so you get the best coverage on the material that you're cutting. Now, coming to the machine, you've got balls all the way around the table. So when you're putting the material onto the machine, this is just going to be helpful because it just rolls it on instead of having to push it forcefully on. This here is a positioning bracket for your material, and you can see going along the machine, you have a number of them all around the machine. So what this does is this gives you the ability to give you the same position of material all the time. So you position up the stops, you push the material in, and that gives you your datum point, which is always the same because you've got those brackets set up. So nice and easy. And this is just something that we did today. That is 16mm plate, and we did a round circle with a number of holes in it. Now you'll notice on all the axes you've got covers, just protective so you don't get all the dust that you get from when you're actually cutting with the plasma. That won't settle on all the slideways and gunk up the slideways, causing inaccuracies. Now beneath those covers, you can't get it off. Beneath those covers you've got linear guideways and a rack, so that's nice and smooth in the positioning. And this machine also uses servo motors. So you've got Panasonic servo motors, which I'll show you in a little bit, driving all your axes. So this is a dual-driven gantry. You've got that side, and the other side you've got Panasonic servo motors, which are in sync, driving the gantry. You've got e-stops on both sides of the gantry. Now, you've also got a lubrication pump, and you've got 3 on the machine. So you've got one this side, one the other side of the gantry, and one on the cutting head. And this is just to lubricate the slides. So in terms of accuracy and longevity of the machine, this just helps to do that. Over here, that there is your parking area. So you can take that gantry and move it all the way back here. So it sits in the parking area, and then that entire table is completely open. So when you're loading material, you might want to use a forklift, You can come from the side with a forklift, load the material while your gantry is safely out of the way, and then start cutting. There is your extraction fan on the back. That's just to suck out all the dust and fumes from when you're cutting. This machine, we use hypertherm on it, the cutting source. So this particular hypertherm is 105 amp, but you can put 45, 85, 105, 65 and the 125 on this machine. This is a standard definition machine, so you can't put anything high def on this machine. And there you can see the other lubrication pump, and there's the other one on the cutting head. And again, the slideways underneath there are Linia. So coming to the control box, there are your Panasonic servo drives. And the nice thing about this is that over there you've got a Perspex cover that's got a bit of plastic over it, so when you actually take that plastic off, it's clear, and you've got a direct view of the servo drives, so if any error comes up, it will you can see without having to open the control cabinet. Now on the cutting head, you've got a laser light. So in this case, we call it the locator. And what that is when you've got the material set up, that will throw a red line onto the cutting job so you can see where your start position is. And what you can do is when you set it up, where the line is, you hit your go button and the head will actually go to where the red line is. So it just makes it a lot more easier for setup. You've also got a wireless remote control. So when you're actually setting up, and let's just say like I'm doing now, I'm walking around the machine to get to the head, you can bring the wireless remote control with you, and then you can control the head. So say your head's there, your material is there. You walk over to your material, you stand over the material, and then you can bring your head to the material, and then you can actually position everything, and then off you go. So that there is the Linia downdraft plasma cutting machine.